everyone. I'm Mary Sitt, and this is Asian Viewpoints. Our guest today has written a deeply personal memoir of raw emotions and deep secrets, an immigrant tale with a complicated love story. Mai Kim has written a memoir called Worlds Apart, a story of escaping from Vietnam, from pirates to Princeton. Mai, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me here. I love that, from Pirates to Princeton.
That's what I kept thinking. Like, you went from such a rough beginning that was really dangerous. Tell me about your memory. You have one memory that sticks out because you were just a baby at the time, right?
Yes, I was a baby. And even when I tell people about this memory, no one believes me. They're like, oh, someone probably told you, but no one told me this memory. It's basically someone lifting me from a small boat to a larger boat. And that just so vividly, like, it sits in my brain, especially when I just go into deep thinking and meditation.
And then your parents told you the rest of the story. Basically, your father had fought on the American side of the Vietnam War, so he had to escape because he was now the new enemy, right?
Yes.
The Viet Cong. And he led two escapes. The first one failed, the second one worked, but the horrible things happened when you got on that boat in the open sea. Tell me about that.
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, it was a collective piecing of different memories together from my aunts, uncles, my parents, because not everyone wanted to share their story.
Right.
They would say small pieces and you would kind of have to piece it together. So this was, oh gosh, going back kills everyone when I recount it or share those first two chapters. Basically, we left Vietnam. My parents and I lived on a boat for a very long time, just in quiet, finding the right time to escape, because everyone was hunting. We couldn't leave, right, basically. Right. And then when we finally got to the main boat and we were at sea, we didn't know if we would make it or not. And there were two chances. My dad would say, you either live or you die.
Mm.
And wow. He's like, I'd rather die for this cause. There's nothing here for us at this moment in time. And so going out to sea, it's just really rough. You're in the small fishing boat, in the dark, the sea, the ocean. It's just, the waves and not a lot of food. And then we encountered Thai pirates that ransacked the boat, threw everything out. They raped all the women except whoever was holding me. Wow. And most refugees who left, who were attacked by Thai pirates, most of them passed away or at sea. So we were very lucky that we made it.
And your mother tells you the story of how the pirates wanted to cut your ears off, and you were a baby.
Oh my gosh!
Because you had little gold hoop earrings, and they wanted the ears. I mean, they wanted the earrings, right?
Yes, they wanted the earrings. They wanted to chop it off because it was easier.
Gosh.
Apparently, it was easier to just use a machete to
chop
off my ear. So my mom begged them in her language, Vietnamese. I don't know if they even understood anything. Just crying out loud, screaming, "No, let her, let her take off."
And she was meanwhile trying to get them off of your
ears.
Yes,
exactly. Right? And people find it crazy because I deck my ears out and have all these piercings. So people are like, what is going on with you? You're like, you have no idea. There's a reason. I really cherish these ears. And so I have these earrings. Like,
I see them now.
Yeah.
They're pretty little diamonds.
Oh, yeah. They're all over. I change them up all the time. So I can be in t-shirt and jeans, but my ears will be blinging.
So you grew up in Seattle in the 80s and then to Anaheim, California, before settling in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And you write in your book that you really never felt like you fit in, except when you were on those rough streets in the very poor neighborhood of Seattle. Can you talk about that? Why you felt okay there, but not anywhere else?
Yes, there's a big reason for that. It's because everyone there accepted me and my family for who we were and are, whether it's in Seattle, California, or Lawrence. And being a part of a community is the biggest thing. Feeling isolated when I was thrown into a campus like Bowdoin or Princeton and not being wanted is the hardest thing for anyone, regardless of how much you have or little you have.
So when you were in Bowdoin, and it's a very prestigious liberal arts college, you didn't like it. You hated it, and you felt very much an outsider, right? But you also it seemed like you carried a lot of anger too. So no matter what anyone did, you were just angry at everyone. Is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. And I think I was myopic. I viewed the world a certain way. They viewed a world a certain way as well. We were 18. And my feeling not accepted there and just feeling that everything wasn't right or wasn't fair also didn't help my, my ability to really integrate well. So I was the problem as well. No, it wasn't anyone else. So having that reflection helped me.
Throughout your book, you talk about feeling like an imposter. Do you still feel like that?
Less so. If you asked me a year ago, yes,
Okay.
very much. Because my day job, I run early stage medical device company, not
Mhm.
having science, not having medical background. It's really hard, and people always pause when I introduce myself, and they're like, "Wait, you don't have an MD, PhD, or anything after your name?" And so when I
Right.
do anything and I write all the technical reports, I can do it. My team knows it. But I feel like an imposter, and that was really hard for me, and it created a lot of anxiety.
How
But
do you
now
get over?
I'm over it.
Now you're over it.
Yes, it just takes time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's talk about the love story throughout this book. Also, you planned 4 weddings to the same man, and he canceled all of them. Why did you marry him the 5th time? I think most women would have just said, well, I have to watch my language. They would have said that's it. No more. Right.
Yes.
Forget about you. I'm not going to do that anymore. But you didn't. Why? And don't
Because
say because you loved him.
no. It's
Okay.
not because I
Okay.
love him. Because one, love really hurts, and two, the heart has its reasons, which reasons do not know. And at the end of the day, as much as I loved him, I was really hurt. But he is such a good person underneath that no one was able to see. The fact that he slept on a hardwood floor and took care of me and brought me lunch every day when I couldn't afford lunch when I was in college. There's just so much in there that I knew he was a good person, but he was inhibited by his parents, his religion, whatever it is, that he couldn't break free from that. And it just needed time. I still have pain. I've never been on a honeymoon. So one day I hope to be on a honeymoon when the kids are out of the house.
Near the end of your memoir, after when you just like said, that's it, I can't take this anymore. You told your husband, you take care of the kids, the business, because by then you were helping his startup, and you just left. And I'm imagining for an indeterminate amount of time, they didn't know when you were coming back exactly. You just had to get away, right? For your own sanity. And you went to Vietnam, and you sort of hung out with your wonderful, sweet grandparents. They took care of you, and you sort of regrouped. So when you did all that, you said, and I thought it was very interesting in your book, you said you managed in your heart to bridge all your disparate worlds together and was finally able to appreciate all your experiences. Can you go more into that for me?
Yeah, when you're in the moment and there's this rush of life, and everything's just clouding you, and you're just going and checking off the list, and you're not really reflecting and thinking, and you don't know what it is, and you're just doing it just because.
Right.
And going back, taking a step back to really understand your world and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that self-reflection is just so powerful. And that's what I ended up doing. And being able to say, okay, what is it, who I am, what is it that I need, and how can I go forward? And it's about Buddhism, about being in the present moment and just kind of absorbing the world around you rather than just checking off. And my whole life being in America, it was just all about doing, going,
Right.
never pausing. And that moment was a pause.
You wrote several times that you did this book for your daughter.
Yes.
So why was it important for her to read your story, and did it help your relationship?
So let me answer the first. I wrote the book for 2 reasons. One, to connect with my daughter, and 2, for myself. And initially, it was just that. It was just a way to get everything out cathartically and allow her to understand my struggles so that in hope that she can also relate to her struggles, because I couldn't communicate that to her. And when I did, she's like, oh, whatever's. But when you can just pour everything and share and be honest and authentic, even on some topics that you wouldn't share with your daughter or your other children, any child. I needed to do it to be an open book. And in order for this book to get out, I had to have her read it first and give her approval and thumbs up. And she just felt it was a really great relief. And actually, because of that book and finishing it, I took her to Paris. And the last 2 pages I wrote on the plane back, because the editor's like, can you just add your feeling it's going to Paris with your daughter? Because that is so different from what you've done in the past. You always go alone. And so it did bridge us.
Well, Mai, thank you so much for sharing your story, your book, Worlds Apart. Very excellent book. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me.
If you enjoyed this interview, please click the like button below and subscribe to this channel. I'll have a new video posted every Thursday. I'm Mary Sitt, and thanks for watching.